Hi guys, what's good, what's popping? Welcome or welcome once more to my channel. So from the title below, today's video is about how I left from having no internship side to working in one of the best, if not the best pharmacy in Cameroon. And in this video I'll give you reasons as to why this pharmacy was the best pharmacy. But so today it's a story time. I'm actually flexing. It's a story time as well as a testimony, a thanksgiving, however you want to put it. So I decided to bring you guys on because God is very good and God works in mysterious ways. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Where do I start? Okay, I think I'll start from the second time I actually went to Yaoundé to follow up my internship side because I wasn't called and everything. But I'll sort of give you guys a background story of how everything went. So yeah, at University of Montaigne, where I school, we'll do internships. This year we're supposed to do an internship, and normally we always do internships in August, but they decided to spice things a little bit this year. So they decided to tell us that we'll do internship in May. But as we know this school, or as I know this school, I know the program is not fixed, and they weren't even sure when they were telling us. They were telling us, they will tell us in December, or I think it was in November, that peut-être vous allez faire le stage en mai. Like, they'll never really tell you and give you that certainty that they are actually going to do internship in May. So Vanel deposited her documents in February. I deposited my documents in February, and I actually deposited in 10 pharmacies. There are some pharmacies that I knew that, okay, no, at least they'll call me, because when I came in, the way I was received and everything, I knew they were going to call me. And on my report, I hadn't specified the period that I wanted to do internship. I just put that from May, but if not in May, then in August. So it wasn't specific. Yeah. So let's move February, March, April. I think it was mid-April when they started telling us, like, actually you guys are going to go on internship in May. And it was still the kind of telling that you're still sure that something can change at any given point of time. But I was like, no, let me go and follow it up. Well, at that time, my classmates that already called them, some people, I was asking, I was like, have they called you? They're like, yes, so they've called me, I have my seat, the stash. And during that period, they were already telling us to deposit pharmacies which have accepted us so that they can print our letter de stage, as they say, so our internship letter. So, humble Vanel, I hadn't had one. And during that period, I know it was also during the period where my nephew Dadu's birthday, I think the video is on my channel, it was during the period of Dadu's birthday. So I actually gone to Yaoundé initially to follow up my internship documents, but it so happened that, yeah, Dadu's birthday was during that time too. So I went, I think it was even on the 25th of April, I went back to all the pharmacies that I had deposited in. Well, no, let me not say all, because there were some pharmacies that when I went and deposited, I really did not want to do internship there. So I was like, okay, if they don't call me, then I'll have no problem. But the other ones, I went there to like follow up. Some people were like, okay, we're going to call you. Others were like, you deposit again, like just make a new document and deposit again. I said, okay, no problem. That time my husband was really like, I was like, Vanessa, what you do internship? No pharmacy has like accepted you. What you really do internship? But I was hoping for the best. So I went to the pharmacy. They said, okay, if we want you for internship, then we're going to call you. I left my details that they can call me, my email, my number, which they can reach me through. And when I was done in Yaoundé, I went back to Baganté. Now, mind you, it was ending April, and we had to begin stage on the 3rd of May, and we had to begin internship on the 3rd of May. So I believe I was just in Yaoundé when one evening in the house at home, I was like, and I have one doctor that I always communicate with. Yeah, thank God for this doctor. Thank God for you. So I like texted him, and then I was like, Doc, good evening. And then he was like, how are you? I was like, Doc, I'm fine, but I'm really stressed. This internship thing is really like stressing me. He was like, what's it? I was like, I don't even have an internship site. Like, no site has called me. He was like, why did you not tell me since? Why did you not tell me? I told him I really wanted to tell you, but this was happening now. I don't really have an internship site. It was like, okay, give me some time. Then I think he texted me back that day, and he was like, do you have a CV? Do you have your internship letter that's in the soft copy? And then he gave me a number that I should send my CV. Like, guys, I don't have a CV. I learned how to make a CV that night, and that's why you have to be proactive, because you don't know you don't know where that can lead you to. I made my CV that night. I already had my internship report, and then forwarded it to all the other documents, forwarded it to the number that he had given me. Then he also gave me another pharmacy site that I should go and deposit there tomorrow, the next day. I woke up very early the next day. I went and deposited there. Then the person was like, when is this internship for? I was like, me. It was like, it's really close there. It's really difficult. He's not sure that I'm going to be accepted. I was like, anyway, no problem. So after I deposited that, I went back to Bagante. And then Bagante, now they're already giving a internship booklets for people that, and then I was like, hey, I really felt like the outcast of the class. I was like, when I would just stand and even tell people that, you see me here, like, actually deposited in 10 pharmacies, so no pharmacy actually told me. People be like, I deposited in 2 pharmacies, at least one called me. I deposited in 3 pharmacies, one called me. It's not even stay. Some people, some people had grace too from above, because when they even went back to follow up their documents, like the pharmacy that just went to bang, the pharmacy just took them. I came back to Bagante, and everybody had already collected the internship booklet. So I was like, okay, it's my own that is remaining now. Let me go and meet the secretary and tell her that it's like that. Let her just be patient with me, because no pharmacy has called me yet. Did I go alone? Yes, I think I did. I went alone. Then there too, I think I met one of my classmates too that had not also got the internship side, but his problem was that he actually deposited late. So he deposited late. So when I went there, the secretary was like, you deposited late now? I said, no, madame, je deposited in February, or I deposited in February. She was like, hey, et pourquoi personne ne veut de toi? When she said that statement, as if I felt like she did not mean bad, but I really felt bad. I was like, really, why have I been rejected by everybody? Like, so out of 10 pharmacies, no pharmacy found me worthy of having an internship site there. Like, I know if I was deposited in 2 or 3, I know that it's really difficult, but 10, no pharmacy. Out of 10 pharmacies, no pharmacy could take me. I really felt bad. I was like, what did I do? And I was like, well, let her just wait now. If a pharmacy calls me, then I'll come and take my internship booklet. And mind you, this was already like around the 29th of April. Yes, it was already around the 29th. Then I remember her, she was like, hey, but we had a meeting a few days ago, and then this certain doctor that actually the boy was like, no, you have an internship site. I was like, yes, yeah, actually giving me 2 internship sites to deposit in, but none of them have called to give me a definite reply. So she was like, okay, let her call the doctor. And she called the doctor. Now the doctor called me, and he was like, so nobody has like texted you to accept you? He was like, I was like, yes. He was like, okay, give me a few minutes. And then he went now, a few minutes after he called me, and then he was like, okay, you go to this pharmacy in Yaoundé, so tell her that it is this pharmacy in Yaoundé. I was like, okay, thank you doc. And can let me give you a backstory. Like before now, I prayed to God. I was like, God, please, I want to be in a pharmacy that will teach me very well. Like, I'm actually going to learn a lot. I wanted to also be in a pharmacy that maybe they'll pay me, but it was at that point, it was not even my main desire. I was like, let me even first of all have an internship side. Whether they pay me or they don't pay me. And I also wanted to be in a pharmacy that maybe they do compounding preparations, because most pharmacies don't do compounding preparations. So I was like, God, but if I can be, my priority was being in a pharmacy that I was going to really learn well and will really be invested in teaching me. So I was like, okay, thank you, doc. I was really happy that I had this side, and this pharmacy was not close to my house. It was actually far from my house. I was like, anyway, it's better than. When I even told my mom, I was like, hey, it's very far. How you do? You cannot go. I was like, hey, mommy, please. When I was even here in the house, I was sitting in the house looking for intention. I was telling people how for sure that I don't have an intention. So I now have one. You are coming to Coco tell me that no, you cannot. I was like, please, like, I really found this site, and it's someone that even helped me. This doctor that helped me to find this site. So just leave it that. So that day I was happy. I thank God. I was like happy, thank God that I have an internship site. The day before the internship, that was on the 2nd of April, I went and I deposited a booklet. And then when I went there, let me give you first impression. I entered the pharmacy, and then I saw people at the counter. Then I went to the counter. Yes, I went to one of the counters, and I was like, bonjour madame, je suis ici pour déposer mon carnet de stage. I believe she probably did not hear me well now. Then she was like, dépose la lettre, non, et pas, dépose la lettre, et pas, dit que non, je n'ai pas une lettre, c'est pour déposer mon carnet de stage that like they've already accepted me. And she was like, oh, okay. She called the doctor now, and the doctor asked me, is it to begin today? I said no, it's to begin tomorrow. And he was like, okay, no problem. So the next day I woke up very early because this place was far from my house. So I woke up very early. In fact, every day I was getting up very early when I was working morning shift. I woke up very early. I went there when they had not even yet opened the doors to the pharmacy. I went there. I told them that it's for internship. They made us to sit down, and then a second year too came. She was from my school. She was coming for internship Saturday. And then when I was sitting there too now, you know that you see just hear conversations. I heard one also saying that no, she told the doctor that she don't want to do, like, she don't want to have stages again, like she don't want to have stages. And I was just saying in my mind, I was like, man, before you also became where you are, before you are where you are now, you obviously somebody had to give you the opportunity to do an internship. So why would you say that kind of thing? Then she came and she was like, c'est stage en pharmacie. I was like, yes. Then the doctor, she was like, okay. The doctor called us up, spoke to us, and that's how we began. Another person that said she don't want stage, she actually became one of my best people in the pharmacy. Like, she taught me well, and then she even explained why that statement. And she was like, she sure that I heard that day. She was like, because the person that came before we came, the person really gave them headache. It was really difficult, and it had not even been up to a week and the person finished, and then to see one again. So she did not want like bed. She was like, what I've just gone through, I cannot. So guys, that's even why it's important to even give people chances, even despite that you've had certain experience. It's not good to just assume that it's going to be the same, because actually it was very different. Like, guys, I was determined to do my best. Like, I was like, this spot, it was by grace, like grace that found this spot. So I had to do my best, and I was doing my best every day. I ensured to work like my work. And guys, that's why, like, whenever you're in a place, you have to ensure to work well. Like, let people appreciate you. Like, I really worked well. It was not even up to a week. They're telling me, wow, I know you work well, you catch things fast, like you learn very fast, and this kind of thing. It was very nice. And then this place, it was also very nice. Like, the personnel, it was not even as if I was like a stagiaire or anything. Like, they were free. They were really very jovial. It was really nice. Like it took me like one of their own, this kind of thing. Like you come, always smile, talk, laugh in the pharmacy. It was really nice. Like the doctors that were taking of me, like those doctors were super nice. Like I don't know, nice until, hey, I don't know how to say nice until, like the doctors were just so nice. We're seeing that it was not as if there was a gap between, if you know what I mean. There was if you know that I've worked in a pharmacy, I've worked in some difficult pharmacies, you know how it is. Like it was not like that. There was no gap. You could be free to express yourself. You can't be the doctor. But I learned that humility pays. Like the people in the pharmacy, the owner of the pharmacy himself, like a very humble person. Like it was very, very humble, irrespective of all the money that he had, or like everything that he could just order people around, say you do this, you do that. But he was always a person for please and thank you. Like if you wanted to do something, oh, please can you help me out, can you help me and do this? When you're done, thank you very much, oh thank you very much. He was never the VFSAC, do this, da 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 da. He was the person for please and thank you, please and thank you. And that is even how the assistant pharmacists were. They wanted, they were calling me mini dog, they'll be like mini dog, pardon. Then like the area for working was very nice, and I think that that's why most people excel. When you're very humble, it takes you far. You might be an arrogant person, yes, you go far, but you will never go as far as you are supposed to go. But when you're humble, no, you have no choice but to go far. God has no choice but to bless you, because it says when he lifts up the humble. Like guys, be humble in everything that you do. Now me, I've seen a perfect example when I've been there, and I've seen people that treated me very well, that taught me also very well. Like they really taught me well. Every day they were giving me assignments to do, assignments to do. When I come, like all my objectives in my report booklet, normally you do not necessarily need to know all the objectives, you not necessarily need to do all of the maturity, but we did everything. Like it was so very nice. And guys, my 3 things on my list that I prayed to God, I was like, God, please, if I can have the pharmacy, I can have those 3 things were checked. Like everything was checked. Compounding preparations, I did up to 4. Man, like I was like, God, this can only, it's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. It can only be divine positioning, because I did not, like when I was even deposited, I didn't even know that a pharmacy like that existed in Cameroon. And I had to go through a series of rejections, being rejected in 10 places before I came and I found this one. Like, nah. What have I learned, and what am I sharing with people? One, there are certain people in your life that God will use to bless you. So when you're with people, don't try to be, even if the person is lower than you, even if the person is above you, like give everybody respect, because you don't know who that person is. You don't know if God will use that person to bless you. You never know. 2, humility is a must. Like let us be humble. Be humble. When you're humble now, people around you are fine. Like people in the pharmacy, they were working, like the pharmacy was working. There was a lot of turnover. They were working well. It's because people were alert. It was not that whole, hey, oh, they're working under pressure. Yes, they're working under pressure, but it's not the kind of pressure that you're working again. Then your boss is just annoying and some kind of thing. The boss is very nice. Like treat people, be humble, treat people well, be humble. Humility is nice. Humility pays. It pays. Another thing, prayers are answered. And another thing, if you're rejected, it does not mean that that's the end of your story. It does not mean that that's how it's going to end. You don't know how many doors God had to close in order to put you where you have to be, or where he wants you to be. Like just look at it. I was rejected by 10 pharmacies. Normally, I was even asking myself, how come all 10 pharmacists had to reject me? But now I know that I was never the problem. I was never the problem. It was God's plan all along. If a pharmacy had accepted me, good and fine, then I could have never gone to the pharmacy that I finally did my internship. Never. And I could have never met these amazing people. But God had other plans. He had to shut all those doors, and so that I'll be able now propel me to ask that my teacher, like, okay, seek for help. Like, guys, I believe you know what I'm saying and you're understanding what I'm saying. Like, from this story, there's really a lot to learn. Really a lot to learn. Another thing is learn to ask for help. You are not an island. And I'm even talking to myself back, because had it been I asked for help earlier, maybe I wouldn't have been in that situation. But all is good that ends well. Let's learn to ask for help from people. You cannot do everything by yourself. Learn to ask for help. So guys, this is my story. I had to work in the best pharmacy, and guys, the good news is that I was called back. Like, at the end of the day, when on my last day, I made a small meal, and then I really thanked them, thanked everybody for receiving me well. I thanked the doctors for giving me a chance, because if she hadn't taken a chance, she just took a chance on me. If she hadn't taken a chance, then I would have never been here. It was just on a maybe. I thanked them, and they were like, we'll be happy if you return back, if you come back. Yes, you two, you're being one of their best, that I was one of their best interns that I've had here. And guys, like, from tears to like saying I was happy, smiling until from molars to molars, like as you can see here now. So that's my story, and I thank God so much. I thank God so much. I believe that through this experience, I've learned to like trust Him more and trust the process. Like, rejection is not my final destination. Like, God always has a plan. God has a plan. There are plans to prosper us and not of destruction, to bring us a future and a hope. Like, I can go on and on, but this video will be too long, so I'd rather end it here. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you so much. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy watching it. Leave a comment down in the comment section below. Subscribe and turn on your post notifications to be notified anytime I post up new videos. And guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Girl,